Welcome back, everyone. My name is Michelle, and this is horror book Hell Hound. So I got tagged in a book tag the other day, and I am so excited to be joining this book tag little thing. I don't even know what to say right now. I'm just like really enthused, if that's a word. So the channel that tagged me was Secrets Read. I will link her channel down below so you can check out her videos as well. The book tag is called Love in Books. So obviously, since we are in the month of romance, we're going to be doing 7 categories of different types of love that can be found in books, and I have picked out 7 different books to show you guys. Now keep in mind that most of what I read is hardcore smut. I don't even want to say hardcore. Smut or horror. So it was a little difficult for me to come up with these 7 different categories. I don't read a lot of light, fluffy books, so we're just gonna make do with what we have. So the first category is friendship love, or in my opinion, just platonic love. This one was a little bit difficult for me, but bear with me. The book I chose to represent platonic or friendship type of love is My Best Friend's Exorcism. I mean, how could I not? How could I not choose this particular book? We have our 2 main characters, Abby and Gretchen. I believe it's Gretchen. Yeah, Gretchen is the one who ends up getting possessed. And Abby goes through so much shit trying to rescue her best friend. I honestly feel that throughout this book, you definitely see what it means to truly be someone's best friend, someone's ride or die, and stick things out like this with them, because most of us probably wouldn't do this for even our best friends. But yeah, this was a really good book choice. It is in the horror genre, of course. It's called My Best Friend's Exorcism, for crying out loud. But I think by the end of the book, it has a really good and positive ending, and you really get to see the friends kind of move on from this really traumatic experience. So yeah, that's my choice for friendship love. The next category was sibling love, and to be honest, I looked high and low in the books that I've read recently for any kind of sibling love, and didn't really find any. A lot of my horror books have to do with siblings absolutely hating each other, so that was a little difficult. But I found one that it's more along the lines of the friendship platonic love, but the way these women interact with each other, they're more like siblings, they're more like sisters. So I chose Goddess of Filth by V. Castro. Very short little read. Again, falls into the demonic possession category, as not most, but a lot of my books do. This book, though, takes a very different twist from My Best Friend's Exorcism. You have a group of girls involved in this situation. One of the friend group ends up possessed by something. It just takes a completely different twist than what you think is going to happen. So yeah, but I mean, throughout this book, you have a group of girls who are so close to each other and care so much about each other that they honestly act a lot like siblings. So I kind of just threw this one in the sibling category because I just could not find a book that had genuine blood family positivity. So we're gonna go with this one because this one actually did end on a really good note. Category number 3 is parental or guardian love. Ooh, this one was difficult to find also. And the book I chose actually has a really sad note to it. So I'm gonna show you the book, and then I'm gonna explain why exactly I chose this book to represent parental love. And that is The Cold Vanish by John Billman. Seeking the Missing in North America's Wildlands. So this book was wonderful. This book was heart-wrenching. This book was really difficult to read at times. Obviously, just like the title suggests, it's about people who have gone missing in national parks, state parks, the wild places that are still left in the world, mainly in America. And our author, John Billman, takes a very documentarian type of approach, which is awesome, but there's one particular story he follows and gives snippets of throughout the book. And it's basically him following along this father whose son went missing in a pretty well-known national park. I believe it was in Washington or Oregon, somewhere over there. And his son has been missing forever. And as we all know, the likelihood of people coming out of situations like that dramatically decreases after even just the first 24 hours. So, and it's been years. So it's very sad. It's very heart-wrenching. I would never want to understand or feel that type of pain in my life. But seeing the snippets of that story where the father figure is just so determined, no matter what, he is going to keep looking until the day he dies. If that comes first, it doesn't fucking matter. He's going to keep looking for his son because that's how much he loved his son. And to me, that just speaks so much to parental love. So even though it's really sad, and I'm sorry if I just like killed the entire mood of this book tag, even though it's really sad, this is the one book that I have read within the past few years that really showcases how extensive parental love can be. Okay, category number 4 is pet love. And you would think that with all like the creature features and stuff that I read and stuff like that, there would be at least one that has something to do with like pet love. And no, I don't mean in a kinky way. But this particular book is, I guess, considered like a YA fantasy type of story. And let me just show you the book first, and then I'll explain as to why it fits into this category. So the book I chose for pet love is Cold the Night, Fast the Wolves by Meg Long. First of all, this cover is beautiful. Second of all, I read this book a long time ago, so bear with me. So this story is about a girl named Sina, and I'm assuming pronunciation here, it could be Senna, I don't know. She ends up on this like life or death mission, kind of like the sled races way up north, but on a different planet. It's very sci-fi fantasy-esque, okay? But more like middle grade or something like that. But anyway, she ends up on this journey with a wolf named Iska. She kind of inadvertently steals the wolf, let's just be real. But the one thing I loved the most about this story was seeing the love blossom between Senna and the wolf, Iska. And just like them having this almost like human-like friendship, because Iska, I mean, wolves and other animals are highly intelligent anyway. I feel like they don't get enough credit, but it just warmed my heart, this level of pet love. And I think at one point she actually almost dies trying to save this wolf, and the wolf does the same for her, of course. It's just really beautiful. That was honestly the selling point for me for this entire story, was the bond between Senna and Iska. So I just loved that so much. Check this out if you enjoy middle grade fantasy / sci-fi and you are in love with wolves. Alright, next up we have romantic love. I have so many books that could fall into this category, but one of the most recent books, and I know I talk about it too much, so there you go. I know I talk about it way too much, but this particular book in this particular series has some of the most well-written, beautiful romantic scenes that I've ever read. And that is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I know I talk about the ACOTAR series way too much, especially if you follow me on TikTok. I'm sorry. I'm sorry! I promised myself a long time ago I was never going to be one of those fangirls, and then I immediately turned into one after the first book. Mainly after this book, because this is the second book in the series. And I don't know what it is, dude. There's just some magic in the way that Miss Sarah J. Maas writes her stories and writes the relationships that are built. This book honestly could have been in the friendship love category. There are moments that could have been involved in the series that could be considered parental love category. This series has so much love in it that it's a little crazy. It also could definitely be in the self-love category, which we'll get to later. I did choose a different book for that category though. But as far as romance goes, this particular book in this series has some of the most beautiful romantic moments that I have ever imagined. and had the pleasure of reading. So, and we're not talking about just like spice, we're gonna get to that next, but just like absolutely romantic and heartwarming and beautiful, and we love this. We fucking love this. Next up, we have erotic love. And because I predominantly read smut, I could have literally picked so many books for this category. But I am going to give a shout out to one book that is the start of a series, if you're interested in it, that I actually have not given that much love to. And that is A Ruin of Roses by K.F. Breen. When I first read this book, I did not realize it was part of a series. This series is ongoing as far as I am aware. Then, lo and behold, you get to the end of the book. Oh, fuck. Okay, so we're more of like a trilogy type thing. Get through the second book. Get through the third book. Oh, no, wait. We're no longer doing a trilogy. It's just a series. So, this particular book is the first one in the series. I'm trying to think of what this series is even called. I guess it's A Ruin of Roses series. Anyway, this series is wonderful. Kind of like the ACOTAR series, there's a lot of development as the books progress, but this first one is probably one of the spiciest throughout this series. Holy shit! Also chock full of beautiful romantic moments, but the spice, top tier. Okay, top tier spice. And yes, this kind of falls into more like along the line of monster smut spice, but they're shifters, so we love that. So anyway, I'm gonna be quiet now. But yeah, definitely if you're interested in erotica, this is kind of a weird Beauty and the Beast retelling situation. But as the story progresses in the series, my mind was fucking blown at how much character development really took place. So highly recommend this book, highly recommend the series, and we're moving on. So this next book could have easily been put into the erotic or romantic love categories, but I chose to put it in the self-love category, which is our next category, because our main female character shows a very good portrait of what self-love looks like when exiting a toxic, abusive relationship. So okay, let me just tell you what the book is, okay? This is going to be His Darkest Craving by Tiffany Roberts. And sadly, it is part of, I guess, a series or a collection. It's called The Cursed Ones Book 1. I haven't read any of the other ones yet. I'm going to get to them, don't worry. I fucking love this book. There's beautiful romantic moments. There's the yummy, delicious spice moments. But what I love the most was when I was reading this book at the time, I myself was kind of exiting a very toxic relationship, and just seeing our female main character go out and have to like basically learn to live all on her own again, which isn't that hard, but after you've been in an abusive shithole relationship for years seems impossible. But just seeing her overcome so much and then finding new love and then like being able to trust again, and like, I don't know, you just get a really good portrait of her own inner work that she has to do during this time frame. And it's so good. It's so fucking good. I loved it so much. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Those are my 7 books for the Love and Books book tag. I will be tagging some booktubers down below. If you just want to be a part of it, then yeah, tag me in your videos so I can see what you do. Or at least just let me know in the comments down below if you're going to do it, so I can keep an eye out for your video. If you guys don't want to do the video but just want to tell me some books in these categories that you find interesting, put them in the comments down below. And with that being said, I will definitely link Secrets Reads YouTube channel down below. Definitely go check her out. She's awesome. And I will see you all in the next video. Hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And peace out, Hellhounds.